here. We equally want to welcome and thank the media houses. Despite the short notification, you have taken your valuable time to be here with us. Acknowledge and we appreciate your presence. We will do a very short and precise press briefing, after which we'll entertain few questions. And we'll appeal to you to bear with us. It's a petition. Whatever it entails, we don't want the social media to preempt it before the head of state would receive it. But we will assure you, we will take email addresses whereby later we'll provide the soft copy to all media houses for your discretion and perusals, and we'll share to other institutions that are in this country and beyond. So without much ado and not wasting much time, I will allow the party leader to dwell on what he has for the media and all the audience present here and those that are not with us. Thank you for coming once again.
My colleagues, the membership of the APRC National Executive Committee, and indeed our various regional chairmen and regional executives, our various chairmen and their committees in the constituencies, wards and villages, our honorable National Assembly members and councillors, our women and youth folk, our able Elders Council members, our security and the protocol division, and all those who avail themselves to come and see us through today. We thank you sincerely and heartily. And I will further thank the membership for honoring our advice and our request. This is very unusual of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction to come out in this number. We had earlier planned a 100,000 or more march to deliver our protest. But because of this pandemic, and honestly, as law-abiding people, and people who also have concerns for the health of our membership and the entire Gambian people, we decided to work and do it as per the advice of the police. In this circumstance, I will seize this opportunity to thank the Inspector General of Police and the entire security forces for the service provided in protecting us and for allowing us in this way to present our petition. This petition, it must be clear, is not about the recommendations of the TRRC. We are not opportune to see these recommendations. They are not officially out. Our petition is geared towards the processes in the appointments and that the process throughout the course of the TRRC. We are of the opinion that the process had been compromised very seriously. We had said earlier at the onset, even when our doubting Thomases said that so far the Janneh Commission could not put down the APRC, the TRRC would be the killer blow that never moved us. That notwithstanding, we said very clearly, I'm sure you can all witness it, that we are not opposed to any TRRC to investigate into the alleged activities of our government. No qualms. We believe that we were in government for almost 22 years, and it's people's right to find out some of the alleged allegations. What we wanted and what we had cried for was that it should be done honestly, transparently, and for the greater interest of the Gambian people. I am sure most of you will agree with me that from the onset, the whole process of the TRRC has been compromised. Decisions had already been reached, an institution created to justify those judgments given by a clique of people in this country. So as I said, we don't want to preempt before His Excellency receives the petition. But I will just give you an insight into what we think are flaws in the whole process, to the extent that we believe that the TRRC report, when it comes out, should be in the waste paper basket, just like the CRRC report on the Constitution. Number one of the whole issue is we have the 1997 Constitution that guides any operations of government. It's the supreme law of the land. It cannot be mortgaged. It cannot be compromised. It's not owned by individuals or even the custodians. Therefore, the appointment of Dr. Lamin Sise for us is illegal. If we refer to section 201 of the 1997 Constitution, it made it clear who can be appointed into a commission of inquiry and who should chair a commission of inquiry, whether it's a one-man commission or more than two people. And from all our investigations and informations, Dr. Lamin Sise, with all his expertise and experience, is not qualified among many qualified people to take up that responsibility. It says, it provides that a person shall not be appointed chairperson of a commission of inquiry unless A, he or she has been a judge of a superior court, whether in the Gambia or outside. B, he or she is qualified to be appointed a judge of a superior court. To qualify that, if you go to section 139 of the 1997 Constitution, section 139 subsection 4 spells out the specifications for the appointment of judges. It states, a person shall not be qualified to be appointed a judge of the High Court if he or she holds or has held office as a principal magistrate. Sorry. A person is qualified. A person shall be qualified to be appointed if he or she has held office as a principal magistrate or master in the Supreme Court, or an office which, in the opinion of the Judicial Service Commission, enjoys a comparative jurisdiction in a common law country, in each case for not less than 5 years. Or if he or she has practiced as a legal practitioner before a court having unlimited jurisdiction in civil and criminal matters in a common law country for not less than 5 years. Further, Section 201, subsection 2 of the 1997 Constitution provides that where a commission of inquiry consists of more than 2 members, at least one commissioner shall be a person who has special qualifications or knowledge in the field of the matter under investigation. Now, this whole process of the TRRC is to establish the truth, encourage reconciliation, and then reparation for the victims of human rights violations, mostly by security forces. We will therefore expect that by this section of the Constitution, people who have expertise in those areas, at least one of them must be there. In this circumstance, we believe that a seasoned senior security officer or military officer should be a member of the panel to determine and interpret the operations of security forces as per the Armed Forces or the Police Act or the laws of the Gambia. We have also observed that some people who are already convicted in the issue, like the vice chairperson, whose daughter we are all aware was implicated in the 30th December attempted coup. You have the mother to sit and determine the truth about that government. When we have a lot of independent-minded, qualified Gambians who are not compromised in any form, the other side we queried about is the fact that we are aware that Alhaji Sedi Barrow, who was part of the December 30th, 2014 attempted coup in this country, fled and went to the United States. He holds dual citizenship of the United States and the Gambia. In America, he was held, tried, and convicted for his role in the December attempted coup. Upon the coming into force of the coalition government, we all witnessed his return to the Gambia with a red carpet welcome. He was taken as the lead investigator in the TRRC. He had used the gun and he failed. And you are giving him the weapon of the pen to try his luck again. We are asking, are we short of intellectuals, qualified personnel who are not compromised, who could have done that job, to at least give the commission a beautiful outlook? You expect us to believe that that person would honestly give justice to the whole process. We are also aware that the executive secretary of the TRRC, Baba Galle Jallow, who throughout his professional, journalistic and academic career has posed himself as one of the greatest critics of our party and our government. And it is known that he is a friend to Alhaji Barrow, and even they lived together just by the time of the December coup in the United States of America. The man himself, who had described the December attempted coup to the American Revolution of 1865. It is the same Baba Galle who, if you remember, went to the extent of giving threats to government, demanding for the full implementation of their report, or else risk facing dire consequences. Operator of the TRRC, you are yet to be ready to submit your report. Gambians don't yet know what your contents are. You are now even threatening government. The government will face real consequences if those reports are not implemented by an executive secretary of TRRC. We also witnessed the issue of Captain YANKUBA TOURAY. He went to the TRRC, we all saw it. He relied on the provisions of the 1997 Constitution giving him immunity. He was forced to speak. He said he is not speaking within that period. The commission decided to send him to the Attorney General for contempt of the commission. That charge was thrown out. But we also heard the then Attorney General saying that they will teach him a lesson. He came and he was prosecuted for murder of former Minister Ousmane Koro Sise. Some junta members, some other people in the commission had confessed for their actions. The question now is, if YANKUBA, based on the 1997, prefers not to speak, you charge him for contempt, fair enough, within the confines of the TRRC. But as long as those who have themselves confessed to murder are walking around about the streets of the Gambia and outside, as long as the TRRC has not concluded its report to make recommendations to say, for instance, that YANKUBA TOURAY should be prosecuted for murder or not, and others for that and that, any sensible human being who is not prejudiced, why should YANKUBA alone then be prosecuted before the report of the TRRC is out 2 years ago? in the report, in the petition, because of the flaws in violation of the Constitution and any law that is in violation of the Constitution, to that extent is null and void. And therefore, because they were illegal appointments, in our opinion, anything that comes out of the TRRC is just tissue paper. And therefore, we demand government to listen to our perspective, find out, and do just that. This, in short, in summary, we will come out with a comprehensive press briefing, as we used to do, on all areas, and we will give evidences and proofs. Because our petition is not done with emotions, it's factual, it's based on evidence, and as per our 1997 Constitution. And we also, as citizens of this country, reserve the right to cry foul wherever and whenever it occurs. This is the beginning of a process. We await the report of the TRRC and its so-called recommendations. We will come out again and put it under microscope for Gambians, unbiased Gambians, because we know there are people who already have formed opinions. We are not talking to those people. To listen to what we say, and throughout, since 1997, we have stated, and we will continue to state, and we allow the press to challenge us. We don't misinform, we don't lie against a system or a government, we don't disrespect, we are disciplined, we are focused. But we are as strong as the Rock of Gibraltar. I will just stop here, and then as the spokesperson said, we will invite few questions. And once again, I want to thank you for sparing time and energy to honor our invitation. Once again, thank you.
Thank you for your time and patience, and also all constraints that you've gone through. We want to apologize. And like I mentioned earlier, we'll take few questions. And I would want to say, let's put relevant questions in order not to deprive others the opportunity to ask important questions. But if I say few, I mean few. I will not make any specific number. But if I determine to say that it will be the last, so it will be. And like I said, it's just a summary about this petition. We cannot preempt what is in it. So if you want to ask questions to get answers from what is in the petition, it will be a wasteful question. I want to guarantee that, because the statement has definitely been clarified that we're open to share. We'll take your email addresses. You can send it to me. It could be written, and we'll give you the full copy of the petition when the time is due. And again, you must state your name, which media you represent. Then you ask one question at a time so that others will also have the opportunity. And raise your hand if you have any question, please, and I'll be able to point out. Thank you. We begin.
Come closer.
You can come closer.
So that we hear.
Right up.
We just cannot sit down and say, government, if government ignores A, B, and C. That will come out, you come to know it when that happens. But we are positive that government will give every citizen open ears to whatever petition or complaints they have. That's what we are positive about. If any other thing happens, as usual, we will avail ourselves and we will tell you what next we will do. I have told you that this is the beginning of a process. So we will not preempt what we will do, but whatever, every stage will come in. But for us, we are positive and we believe and sincerely believe that government would positively look at its citizens' complaints and petitions.
Thank you, Honorable. Let me have the next question from you. Mr. Dabo, I'm referring to you. You have another question. Bring it on board.
For the?
To the victims.
Unless you tell me the recommendations of the TRRC, whether we are going to, before you say we are going to implement or not to implement, we know what is there. We don't know. So I cannot tell you whether we are going to implement or not to implement. But I think your concern actually is if we come to government and we have the victims of the TRRC, whether we are going to throw them away or we are going to do anything about it. What is clear is victims of these people, certainly the victims of the TRRC, of some of the atrocities, are Gambians. They deserve a right. Even now, we want genuine victims to have reparations taken care of and all other things. What we differ actually is, somebody comes to the TRRC and tells you that Babili Mansa or the head of state or this one is the one who asked me to do A, B, and C. Anybody. No justification, no other witnesses, no collaboration, nothing. And you take that as the truth. Is that sensible? So if tomorrow somebody goes to the TRRC and says President Barrow is the one who asked us to kill Haruna Jatta, just because of that he should be punished? What we are saying is, let's establish the facts as per the laws of the Gambia, and honestly and sincerely, by honest and sincere people who can be trusted. And then we move forward. We are not saying that we were here for 22 years, we made no errors. Which government in the world will you see that? Anywhere in the world. No government. Nowhere in the world. No perfection of human endeavor. All what we are saying is, let's know our weaknesses and our limitations so that Gambians will learn from it, and we try to avoid a recurrence, and those who were illegally victimized be taken care of. We are not opposed to that. But we don't want it to be used to satisfy the inner interest of individuals to victimize others. We say no. That's all what we are saying.
Thank you. Yes, Omar. Can you come closer so that we can get one at a time?
Now, let's make it clear. I said it, I don't know whether you misunderstood me. This petition has nothing to do about the recommendations that are to be received on Friday.
The process.
I've said that very clear. This is about holistically observing the process of the TRRC. The appointments, the behavior, the processes, etc. As per our constitution, and we are quoting those things to make sure that those things are taken into cognition, and then therefore, if those things stand, it means the report of the TRRC is null and void. Because anything that's instituted contrary to the constitution is illegal. And anything illegal cannot be accepted by government. That's our position on this one. Now, whether it's the same government that instituted the TRRC, we are aware that it's government that instituted it as per the laws of the Gambia. But it's government that does things and they are taken to court and they are proven to be wrong. It's parliament that makes laws and it is challenged at the Supreme Court and the law is changed. And yet they are the ones who made it. So what we are saying is, yes, government did it, probably with good intentions, but some of the participants of government must have probably misinformed the government and abused their powers to do certain things that are illegal. If government goes to create a commission of inquiry, it should be guided by the laws. The appointment should be guided by laws. Therefore, if you appoint illegally, and it's done by, these are usually done by elements of government, and government comes to realize that, yes, this thing was done, but it is illegal. Magnanimous governments will always say, oh, you are right, we are sorry, we will correct it. That's what we expect. When it comes to the report of the TRRC, I said we will also put it under the microscope. But for us, we are not mindful of the report now, because we are saying that the report itself should be seen as illegal, because it's done and prepared by people who were illegally constituted. That's what we are saying.
Thank you.
That's all we are saying.
Thank you.
So we have no fears about that.
Yes. Omar Steele.
Is the APRC really only concerned about the appointment of those individuals with the money payments are illegal, or the whole process and what happened to the TRRC? Is the party still in denial of the fact that really human rights violations have took place under the 22 year of January?
That cannot be established by an illegal institution. I have said it. We, at the onset, when they were saying that the Ghana Commission was almost failing and they are saying the TRRC would be the killer blow, we came out and said clearly and categorically that we are in support of a TRRC to investigate into the 22 years of the APRC with the sole objective of establishing the truth, reconcile Gambians, and ensure reparations. We said it clearly. But it should be done by honest and reliable people. You are saying the APRC. If by the provisions we quoted for you, you may not be APRC, and it is found out that these people were illegally put in place, will you support them because of some of the alleged violations they made? Anything that is not legal ends in the waste paper basket. Anything that's not legal. If it is legal, then we go into the issues. We are now telling you the illegality of it. If it is illegal, then the whole process is out. It means you either put up another legal entity to do the find out. We are not opposed to finding out. And the find out must be merited. It must be factual. It must be established. Remember, a commission of inquiry is not a court. It only has the powers of a court as regards ensuring witnesses come and do and that and that. But you are not in a court of law. You don't have a defense. At the end, you can only make recommendations. It's government's prerogative to look at those recommendations that will ensure reconciliation and stability, and also to at least help the victims. That's government's function. But where you are doing your own report and you are even threatening government that it should implement these things that are yet to be known. And you are a member of the TRRC. We don't expect those things to happen. Don't be prejudiced by the fact that we are APRC. We are citizens and we want good for this country. We don't want Gambian citizens to be butchered or to be killed or to be provoked. We don't want it. If it happened, let's establish the truth. No problems. But the truth must be established based on law and by honest people. That's what we are saying. So this is not our first statement to say that we support the TRRC, but we encourage that it be done as per the law and to be done by people. We have a lot of Gambians who are intellectuals, who are seasoned, who are straightforward, who are honest. They are here, who are not partisan. We have them. Why not those people? Why should you be taking your family friend to come up? Why? On a national issue. So that's our position.
Thank you very much. I'll take 2 questions. It's approaching prayer time and we'll call it a day. I'll take one from Fatu and I'll take another from Sankule. One each. Then we call it off. Yes.
My first question is Fatu Sama from Gambian Talents TV. What will you do if the
Talk and stop that an independent sovereign country as the Gambia, you are telling us international pressure. There are happenings in the United States of America. Black people are kneeled upon and killed. People who are in Guantanamo Bay, detained there for 10, 15 years without trial. They are waging wars all around the country, all around the world. They are dictated by the supreme interest of the United States of America. We in the Gambia are talking about, that's the difference we as APRC, that's our difference. Gambia comes first to any other person. Interests of Gambians come first in anything we do. Whatever pressure, if it is not in the interest of the Gambian people, go away with whatever you have. That was APRC. If you are now telling us that international pressure, we know of the pressure. We know that even the CRC, this thing, was pressurized. We are aware, they were lobbying even the National Assembly members, even trying to force them to put into law what will suit Gambians. Do we go to tell them what laws for them to make? Are they not repatriating our Gambians here as per their laws? What is happening? For us, that is the thought of those who don't belong to the APRC. APRC, we don't think about international pressure. We think about the interests of Gambians first. That's our policy. 2, if anything happens, I said this is the beginning and not the end. We will do anything that is humanly possible as per the laws of this Gambia to ensure we establish and ensure that our rights are protected as citizens of this country. So for me to tell me international pressure, we will expect that you will always be under pressure. And Gambia will always be like this. We will not move until we take our independence. We can work with countries. We can partner with countries. We cannot be an island. But we are a sovereign, independent state that is charged to ensure the best interest of not any other person, but the people of the Gambia. Thank you.
Thank you.
As regards, what is the other one?
The second one is about NPP. I can handle that. You relax.
No, you see, I don't want us, Dudu,
Okay.
I don't want us to go into the issue of these partnerships.
Yeah.
Because what is happening is, APRC had been talking with political parties, it had not been an issue. We had been talking. Nobody came to us and said, we understand you are talking with GDC or GANU or these people. No.
Because NPP,
Do NPP genuine. NPP is not the one, the coalition led us out. So what we are saying is, why is it a concern that APRC, NPP is the issue? Why should that be a concern? Why is it a threat?
Can I add on?
And for us, you see, for us.
For the victims, it can be, a threat to them because
For the
victims, the victims of,
No, just listen. Yeah, the victims of the TRA can be a threat. What can be a threat?
Like the implementation of the TRC recommendation.
So if the APRC, for instance, goes with Barrow, therefore it can be a threat to the victims.
For them, they are seeing it like that. I'm not talking on their behalf.
You are. Just hold on. You are talking. Therefore, you are speaking on their behalf. What you heard from them? Yeah, this is what you are saying. Just hold on. Don't dislodge yourself. You might have heard it from them, or they told you as a journalist, and now you are putting it to us. So you are saying it on their behalf. No. Please.
No.
Now you have the right to defend them.
A message.
You have the right to defend. No, you even have the right to defend what you believe is right. All right? We have no qualms. What we are saying is Gambia is about 2 million people. How many millions or hundreds of thousands are victims? 2. Have we told you? Somebody asked a question here about victims, like when we come to power. What did I respond?
They are Gambians.
We take care of every Gambian. And we believe that the truth should be established. Those who have been victimized they should have reparation. So, with that, should that be a problem for us if we choose to go into partnership with NPP? We have a right. We cannot impose it on anybody. We have a right to go into partnership with GDC, with GANU, with any other political party. We had never been emotional. With all what happened to us over these 4 years, by the coalition, have you ever seen us disrespect the authority? Have you ever seen us do insults, disrespect? That is not APRC. We have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in what we believe in. And we know that only Allah wills. No other person wills. You can only talk about your opinion. So I expected people are going to ask about this NPP APRC. We'll come out with a press conference, specifically on those issues. My question actually is, why too much with NPP? NPP is a new party. Why are people so worried with NPP and not with other political parties? You want us to believe that APRC, where we think our interest is, we should put it aside and go for the interest of our enemies? As a party, when they went into coalition to remove us from power, people who were all disoriented from the left to the right came together. So for us, we don't have permanent enemies in politics. Those who have witch-hunted us, those who have bullied us, it is something that had happened. Your best enemy today can be your worst enemy. Your best friend today can be your best enemy tomorrow in politics. Your best friend today can be your worst enemy tomorrow. We are out to protect the interest of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction and our Supreme Leader, His Excellency Yaya Jammeh. That's all what we have.
Thank you.
So let people not worry about that. I know those questions will come from journalists. NPP al-Naya Fole, al-Bakani, Ikoye Nyineke. And some of our people listening to our detractors, people who want to put some hurdles on the way to anything progressive for APRC. We will not take that. That's why we are closed. Unless you come and ask us, why are you people having coalition talks with GDC, with GANU, with UDP, with all these parties, then you can come up.
Wait, just wait. I have to give
I think I will give Dudu to elaborate.
Sampule, can you?
No, even if they have done worse than that, it should be legal. If it is not legal, it's not good. This is the land of laws and the Constitution. What we are saying, we are not saying nothing happened. We are saying it should be done legally. Anything not legal, waste paper basket. Or you want to believe something different, that illegal things should be taken? No, okay. All right. So that one is clear. All right. You talked about...
That's the last one. That
Yeah, I can just throw you light. SFL had made, had taken the TRRC as a platform to gain chief popularity, expressed his opinions, not in the interest of the Gambia or the truth. If you look at it, we all witnessed and looked at it. You want to be free from his harassment? What have you, who did this? Is it Yaya Jammeh? Yes, Yaya Jammeh. You are free. He has taken that to gain his chief popularity. Remember, he took some food items to take it to people until he was harassed by one man, until that went away. Just at the end, morally is not correct. You have been assigned that job to impartially look into issues that affects the lives of wait, please, to affect the lives of the people. How can you just before you conclude that you are looking for political leadership? Just imagine that, and you are somebody who was part of the AFPRC, who the people who coined those laws or decrees, who had benefited from the findings of the junta. You come back, at least after this process, for you to be morally decent. You cannot just come out and say, me, I want to be president, I want to be leader. He had made mention of it. You know it.
Thank you, Sankule.
You know it.
Let's
not beat about. Yes, that is more, for me, I will have chosen death to do that. I want to be cleaned up, for people to know that I have not done this for any other ulterior motive, but to satisfy the needs of the Gambian people. But you use it as a platform to think people would say, oh, this was one who was shouting all those things about democracy and human rights. A complicit person in the whole process. That's some of the things we meant.
Thank you, Honorable. We definitely want to apologize. This is not, so once again we apologize to all of you if you have a question and it cannot be put across and it is not answered. But to tell you about NPP, APRC, the noise has been going on. When we were in government, we did alliances. And the first word for our party says alliance. And if 2016 they could do an alliance to uproot us, is it a crime for us to do an alliance? So I think it is our right as Gambians, as a political party. Nobody outside the frame of APRC will advise us what to do. We have seasoned politicians that nobody in this country dare to challenge him. We made that open and engaged media. Whoever wants a debate is available, but nobody shows up. Politically, we are not a novice in politics. We know what is best for our party, and that's what we are going to pursue for the greater good of Gambia, not only APRC. So we have every right to do a coalition with any party.
And not distract. Nobody can distract us.
Thank you for coming. People can take to social media, do Facebook Live, say whatever, but the decision rests with the National Executive Committee. That is as plain as black and white. Whoever doesn't want to swallow that, we also respect your opinion. And we're not going to push and pull with anybody. The party has a leadership, and the leadership will make the decision, and we are all going to follow. Whoever wants to be an exception, we will recognize your rights and your freedom. The party belongs to all of us, and we will forever be APRC. Thank you for coming.